everybody, it's George, and I'm here to do more stuff. If I look tired, it's because I just got back a week ago from Guam. Shout out to Guam. I love Guam. Guamanian people are awesome. If you have a chance to go to Guam, do it. But get ready for the jet lag because it's 4,000 miles west of Hawaii. It's way out there. Anyway, today I have an episode that I've been kind of putting off doing, but I've also been kind of looking forward to doing it at the same time, and that's it. I'm going to do a two-parter. First part today is going to be the best edges I've ever put on a knife. So this is going to be my little sharpness episode here. So I have two episodes. One is going to be knives that I have sharpened and the best edges I've got on a knife. And the next episode is going to be best factory edges. So I'll have a variety of knives that I haven't touched to show you how sharp these knives are coming out of the factory. It's amazing how sharp some of the knives coming out of the factory are these days, especially China. China is putting some crazy edges on some very budget knives these days. It's very, very impressive. So so sit back, relax, get some popcorn, have a drink, coffee or tea or whatever beverage you enjoy, and watch me struggle through doing this. I'm going to try, and this may not happen, but my thought process in this is that I'm actually going to try to do two camera angles. I'm going to have this camera shooting from the top down, and then I'm going to have my iPhone shooting basically kind of my view to kind of see if you can see how well things go through paper. Some people say that cutting phone book paper is not the best test of an edge. I disagree. It obviously doesn't measure how durable an edge is, but it definitely will tell you if there are any hiccups in the edge. And so it'll be very evident from my testing. You'll see, especially the knife that I will save to the end, how sharp it is. And I am not doing this to brag about how good I am at sharpening knives. This is quite the opposite. The sharpest knife I have is the best edge I put on a knife is a fluke. I don't know how I did it. I don't know that I'd ever be able to recreate it. I'm so proud of that edge that I don't use that knife. It just sits in my collection and gathers dust. And I only take it out to cut phone book paper with. So if you don't like watching fat hands cut through phone book paper, you're not going to enjoy this episode. You can go ahead and skip it, and I completely understand. I'm going to do my best to make this entertaining, because that's really what it's all about. It's just really entertainment. And a little bit of education. You can kind of see what kind of edges you can put on knives with various different sharpening systems and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm going to get to this. We get started. Before I do get started, as always, I want to thank my subscribers very much. You guys really make this a pleasure to do this channel. We're growing thanks to you guys. I never ask for people to subscribe. I don't understand why people would, but for those of you who do, I'm forever grateful, and I'm again grateful for the comments, positive or negative. And I've got a rash of negative comments lately, and I get it, guys. I get it. I'm just a guy doing stuff. That's me. I'm George, and I'm a guy, and I do stuff. And I'm silly. And this site is not, this is not a scientific site at all. We're just trying to have fun here and talk about what we all love, which is knives. So sit back, relax. Sorry for the long intro, and let's get to it. So this here is my iPhone, not a sponsor, and I'm gonna try and get this in both shots here. So I have this shot and this shot. I'm gonna do some higher end steels first, because theoretically higher end steels are harder to sharpen. And as a result, I kind of feel like my higher end steels are actually not as sharp as my budget steels are. Hence another reason why I love D2. So I'm going to kick this off with the QSP Penguin. This knife right here is $89. It's a Blade HQ exclusive. I'm not sponsored by Blade HQ, but if they ever see this and they want to sponsor me, I am totally down. The great thing about this knife is that occasionally it goes on sale. So I think it's normally $89.95. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. And I think they go on sale for like $69 or $65 for an aluminum scaled S90V steel liner lock knife. This is, in my opinion, this is one of the most perfect knives out there. This is a fantastic knife. But that being said, let's get to it. Let me get to cutting some paper here so you can kind of get an idea of the kind of edge I, by accident, was able to do with my various sharpening systems. I'm trying to get this in both frames at the same time. Yep. And you can see that that glides through there pretty easily. As I always caveat this paper is not the smoothest paper in the world, so the better cut you can get on here, the more impressive the sharpness is, because this paper is not, I mean, like, for example, if you use like a receipt, typically receipt paper, while it's still thin, is very uniform, and so generally you can get better cuts off it. But yeah, so there you go. That is the QSB Penguin. Sharp knife, S90V, damn good knife. Highly recommend this knife. I know this is a knife review. We're doing cuts, but there you go. QSB Penguin. Boop, boop. All right, next up is one of my all-time favorite knives ever. This is the Paramilitary 2, the Legend, the Myth. And this is it. This is a limited run for the Bento Box store. If you're not familiar with Bento Box, they sell, I think, only Spyderco knives. It's a great place to go if a knife has been out of production for a while, because a lot of times they have out of production Spydercos. This knife, unfortunately, is sold out. They don't have this. I think they have the PM3 version in M390, but there are a lot of reviews of this. This came out years and years ago, and a lot of people say that this M390 is the best M390 they ever put on a knife. Spyderco's heat treatment is just spot on, and this is the standard for M390 in the universe. So here we go. Again, I'm gonna maybe vary this up so it looks better from up top, and then I'm gonna do it from down below. But yeah, this knife is very, very, very sharp. And this is probably one of the best early edges I ever got. Oh, why are you not recording? Well, guess what? So on the QSP Penguin, I didn't hit record on my phone, but we got this one now. So yeah, this knife is very, very sharp. It is an excellent blade. You can kind of see on there the hint of a, and I'll put it on here as well, hint of a mirror edge on there. Love this knife, very proud of it. Again, this is a knife that I'm so proud of that I won't carry it because I'm proud of the edge I put on there. I don't know if I can recreate it, so I don't carry it. Even though I actually, at one point I had 4 of these. I sold 2 of them recently on eBay, but I still have 2. So one is untouched, and this is the one that I sharpen. Sharp knife, love it. It takes edge so well. M390 is a great steel. Don't believe anybody telling you otherwise that M390's crap. It's not. It's awesome. As a matter of fact, it's in my opinion, it's everything MagnaCut's supposed to be. It's hyper corrosion resistant. It's got great edge retention. It's a very, very good steel. So don't believe the hype. The last one is a knife that has been out of production now for a while. This was the first super steel, if you will, that I ever sharpened. I sharpened this on my Edge Pro Apex. And a lot of people say that this steel is very difficult to sharpen. I disagree. I think almost all steels are easy to sharpen if you have the right material to sharpen it with. You know, it depends on the stones and you know, what kind of device you're using. I mean, I could potentially possibly do this freehand now, but I don't want to use diamond stones, not the stones I have currently, the Kurosawa stones. But this is the Enduro, I think the 4. I believe 4 or 5, can't remember, in ZDP 189, which is this steel. I think this is HRC on this is like 65 or 66, maybe something like that. ZDP can get incredibly hard. It is very prone to rust, so there is very little corrosion resistance on this knife. I don't think ZDP is particularly tough, but I mean, look at this. Look at the blade stock on this knife. This isn't a tough knife to begin with. It is a very, very thin stock knife. It is a full flat ground, which leads to excellent properties when you want to come to cutting stuff, particularly phone book paper. And this thing took a great edge on it. I don't know if it's as good as my follow-up knives here, but here we go. Maybe it is. I mean, that you can kind of start to hear the sharper knives get when you do this paper cutting, the more quiet they get. They kind of just sink into the paper and you're done. And this one, it might have a little hiccup somewhere. That might be the paper, but I mean, this knife is very, very, very sharp. This knife was the first knife that I ever had that I really considered to be scary sharp. When you touch the edge on this, the only way I can explain it to people is if you've ever had a guitar with steel strings, like an electric guitar, and you don't know how to tune it, and it's super, super, super tight. That's what this feels like. I mean, it's not pleasant. You don't want to put your finger on that. Are there sharper knives? Yes. Are there sharper knives on this table? Yeah, probably. But I don't know if there's a better cutter than this. It's just that full flat ground. I mean, if you go quick, you can just, it's butter. It goes through newspaper or phone book paper like nothing. It is a fantastic knife. I wish that Spyderco still made it. I want to say they still have some ZDP 189 knives. I'm not 100%. You guys can correct me in the comments. I think it was kind of pretty much replaced by K390, and I don't have any K390 knives yet. That's one thing that I haven't added to my collection yet, but eventually I will get that in there, and we'll do maybe we'll do a comparison. I don't know, but it's definitely a knife that I want to sharpen and see how it compares. But this knife is still probably top 5 in sharpness. This knife's crazy sharp. And I love it. And again, it's another knife that just kind of sits in a drawer because you can't replace it. It's discontinued. All right. So the next knives are budget knives. These knives, I think the most expensive one out of this group is $40. The least expensive one is $22, something like that. And one of them, this one, this is, what is this, a steel wheel? Yeah, it's steel wheel Modus, the steel wheel Modus. And you'll start to see a theme in these as far as the steel. This knife was not particularly sharp, and I, for the life of me, can't remember what system I used on this. I'm pretty sure I used the my TS Prof to get this thing sharpened. And let's see if I can get some justice on this edge. That's not gonna do it. This knife took a really nice edge, and that's one of the reasons why I like D2. D2 is very much your friend, and if you're learning how to sharpen, because it's a steel that will take an edge quite easily, and you don't have to go absolutely insane and use super high-end stones and stuff like that. You just have to be consistent with it, and if it's a good heat treat, it will reward you 10 times over. And these D2 knives that are done well, that are heat treated well, they're a delight to sharpen, and they're even more fun to cut with. And the next few knives are going to be knives that they're not knives sitting in drawers. These are knives that I use to cut stuff all the time. I process Amazon boxes with this knife and the following knives all the time. But this knife took an edge that I was shocked when after I sharpened it, because I was not expecting the kind of performance out of this knife that I'm getting. And I mean, this knife is not, it's not like it's a full flat grind. I mean, this has got, I guess, a little bit of a hollow grind, or I'm not exactly sure what you call that. But I mean, this is not, this knife is, it's got quite a bit of blade stock. It's much thicker than the Endura is. And but God, it took an edge to just, it's just insane, the edge this thing took. And I mean, sharpening a $40 knife on a TS Prof might seem like a silly proposition, but I'm a silly person, and this is a silly channel, and that is what it's all about. And to be honest, you know, if you can get a really cheap knife, really, really sharp, I don't know why you need to buy an expensive knife, because let's face it, all it boils down to having a knife that's functional. And in my opinion, the sharper the knife is, the more functional it is. It makes the use of a knife much easier. And this knife is still being manufactured. I can't remember exactly where I saw it, if it was on Amazon or if it was on Blade HQ or one of the other online blade stores. But if I find it, I'll link it up and, you know, put it up there. But yeah, this knife is a total sleeper. It's a great knife. It's got nylon scales. It's got a little anodized, I'm assuming that's aluminum backspacer. I think this is my first flipper ever, and it's got great motion or action. It's got nice jimping up there. I mean, really solid jimping. It's got a little bit of a trowel there that you can use. It's got a nice blade shape. I really like the blade shape, and as you can see, it took a really nice edge, and without too much muss and fuss. It's a really good knife. So the steel wheel Modus. See if you can see that there. The Modus. Yeah, steel wheel. Good knife. Good knife, cheap knife, highly recommended knife. I may actually have to get more paper here in a minute. Next knife may be familiar. This is the QSP Parrot. You'll never guess what kind of steel it's in, but it's D2. It's no surprises here, D2. Again, this is a D2 knife. You can start to find out, you know, see a pattern here why I like D2 so much. Very well heat treated, very well made knife. I think it's a handsome knife. I've never been one for black blades, but I will tell you that if you have a black blade and you have a mirror polish on the edge, right now I'm showing off for the iPhone, and then I'll show off for this one here. But if you put a mirror edge on against a black blade, it looks doubly impressive. Again, I think this was sharpened on my TS Prof sometime last year. Just like the Modus, it very easily took an edge. The only problem I had was the thumb studs, which are very good thumb studs, kind of protrude a little bit. And as a result, you might hit those when you're sharpening. And I've tried to take them off, but these don't unscrew. These don't have like a Torx or an Allen key or anything to unscrew them, so I wasn't able to get them off. But that still did fine. And this knife, I was carrying this in my pocket this week and just cutting everything I needed to cut with it. And so this is a daily carry. This is a true EDC. This knife I carry from time to time, but I often forget I had this knife, which is kind of sad because it's a really good knife. This knife, I got this for free on Blade HQ when I bought one of my 15V Spyderco. So this is actually a free knife from Blade HQ. Another reason why I love Blade HQ so much. And so let's give this guy a whirl. And yeah, this knife is nice and sharp. It is nice and sharp. This one actually probably is not as sharp as some of these other knives due to the fact that it gets used so frequently, but still, even with the frequency of use, I generally touch this knife up and it comes right back to life. A little bit of ceramic, like a Spyderco ceramic sharp maker, and then a little strop in action, and this thing is back in business. I mean, a lot of people resharpen knives when they don't need to be resharpened. A lot of knives are sharp, they just need to be touched up. This is one of those knives. So, yes, while possibly the least impressive of the knives we've seen so far, this is still a very, very sharp knife. And it's probably due for a touch up, but God, if you felt this edge, people talk about sticky edges. This edge is actually sticky. You put your finger on it and it just grabs onto it, which is what you want. At least that's what I want. So yeah, that's the QSP Parrot D2 steel. It's a good knife. I think this knife generally goes for about $32 or something like that on Blade HQ. Probably more or less. They have different versions of that out now that use, I think, a little bit better steels, like 154CM, and I think there's a couple other variants, but I could be wrong. This next one is from the X-Tuk family. The Shtuk, I don't know how they pronounce this. It is, first of all, it's my iPhone. It's XTOUC, a Chinese brand. I have two different knives from this company other than this one, and all three of them I just adore. They make great knives, and I love this little teeny tiny guy. It's a little knife, nice deep carry clip. It's got micarta. I don't like micarta, but I like the micarta they use on this knife. I love this knife. I like the little blade shape too. It's got a funky little kind of a pregnant drop point. I don't know what you call that, but again, pretty much near mirror edge on this knife. This is a great knife. Lantern lock, really good lockup. This knife, this is a $32 knife. This is a $40 knife. This is a $22, $23 knife, and it's awesome. It's got a full choil that I love. It's got, it feels great in hand. It's just that kind of Goldilocks size for a small knife where I can get all four of my fingers on there. It's got a little bit of jimping. It probably needs a little bit more up here, but very, very comfortable knife. Deep carry, so it disappears in your pocket. You won't even know you're carrying this thing. And then when you take it out, and it's business time, well, guess what? This knife, oh my God. This knife is all business. All business. I'm going to be quiet so maybe you can hear how quiet this is, but I mean, it just whispers through there. Just nothing. Like it's butter. Like it's butter. Absolute butter. This is not the sharpest knife I own. That's coming up here in a second. But I put a really good edge on this knife. And then again, this knife touches up very easily. It actually feels like I could probably get this a little bit sharper if I stropped it a little bit. But God, it's just a great knife. It's a great knife, and it just cuts really, really well. And again, that's all I want. That's all I really, really want. Me and the Spice Girls. That's what we're talking about. So I wish I could give you a model number on that knife. I can't. I can just tell you the manufacturer is X-Tuk. They're out of China. If I didn't mention it, is it on here? Do it on here so you can see it on here, and then I'm going to see if I can get it on there. Hopefully you can see that. D2 steel. D2 steel, folks. It's the budget steel, man. This is the way to go. I mean, I'm kind of getting tired, and I'm sure people are tired of me saying it. Anybody who wants to get an Ozark Trail piece of crap for $10, and I know a lot of my friends have them. One of my best buddies, Ben, shout out to Ben, has one. This knife is $10 more, and it is 50 times better. I love this knife. It's so good. All right, there you go. Rant over. That brings us to our final blade. This is, I don't think I can even argue that I have anything near this blade as far as absolute sharpness. I don't know how I got this knife this sharp. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get a knife as sharp as I got this knife. I'm 99% sure this was on my TS Prof. I think this is one of the first knives I ever sharpened on my TS Prof. This knife has been on the channel multiple times, I believe. Without further ado, it is the Cold Steel Tough Light. You can get these knives, I want to say Midway, which is a gun site on the internet. that Midway USA has had these for as low as $15. Now I got this one I think for 32 or 28 or something like that on Amazon, probably a couple years ago. But they vary wildly in price. And where all the other D2 knives that we saw, and this Tough Light is made of Aus 8, and I believe this is the only Aus 8 knife I have. Yes, it's Aus 8A. This is apparently a Taiwanese-made steel, and I'm guessing it's because the edge is straight is the reason why I did so well on sharpening it. But yeah, that blade is that's a blade you can do surgery with. This is an insanely sharp knife, and I shall demonstrate that right now. And obviously you guys can't feel how easily this knife goes through paper, but it's effortless. I mean, typically if you have a knife that's even relatively sharp, you'll feel when the knife contacts the paper. This knife, when it contacts the paper, you don't always feel it. It's just cutting. Just goes right through. I mean, you can do, if you want to get super tight in there with this knife, it is very easy. This knife is insanely sharp. And again, I think a lot of this is attributed to the steel more than my skill, and also the blade geometry, also where the stones were when I sharpened it. This being one of the first knives that I sharpened with new stones. But I don't have a knife that's as sharp as this knife. Not even close. I mean, if you want to do your wavy cuts, this knife does wavy cuts, and it'll probably cut paper towels. I don't do a lot of the paper towel demo stuff, but yeah, this knife, hands down, clean off the dust. But hands down, this knife is just insanely sharp, and it's one of those knives that, touching it is you got to really be careful when you touch it. Again, this is an inexpensive knife. Aus 8 steel is very budget steel. It's, a lot of people consider it much worse than D2. I don't know if it's the blade geometry. I don't know if it's the heat treat. I don't know exactly what kind of magic went into this knife. But man, this knife is just this is the apex of my sharpening career. This is the sharpest knife I have. I hope someday I may get a knife as sharp as this, or maybe even sharper. But until that happens, this one wears the crown by itself. There are no competitors to this at the moment. So there you go. If you guys enjoyed this, keep on watching my channel, because I'm going to have a bunch of stuff like this going forward. Well, I don't know, a bunch of stuff like this, but if you like watching knife reviews and you watching a guy stutter through it and have a bunch of paper on the side of his table, then you came to the right place, because that's what we're all about. And I'll do my best to kind of piece this together so you can kind of see both perspectives of not just the overhead shot, but also the iPhone. I am actually, while I'm here, and I'll maybe edit this out, or I might leave it in, because my iPhone wasn't on when I did the QSB Penguin. So I'm going to do some iPhone friendly shots here, because I didn't have any of this knife. And this knife also has the distinction of being the only knife to just slice the crap out of me, just coming in my pocket, carrying in my pocket. I had it like this, and somehow it opened up just a little bit, and I reached in, and this finger just it cut me so well and so sharp that you really can't even see the scar. It hurt a lot, but I didn't cry much. But yeah, so here we go. Well, that didn't work out well. That worked out better. So S90V in and of itself, I'm pretty sure it's just kind of toothy. It's not like D2 where I'm assuming the grain or the pattern of the grain is a little bit different, because no matter how sharp S90V gets, every S90V I have that's sharp, and this knife is plenty sharp, you can really feel it grabbing the paper as it goes through it. So kind of like the way I felt it grabbing my finger when I was slicing through it. So I would not shave with this for that reason, because you know the different grains of steel and carbides that are in there make for fantastic edge retention. In my experience, it just, I can't get any of these things anywhere near as smooth as like a D2 or the Aussite or anything like that, just because I think the actual steel structure of S90V. But trust me, if I were to put this knife against rope or something, it would just whiz right through it. And the great thing about S90V is that you could do that all day because its edge retention is so good. Yeah, this is such a great, if you want to call it a budget, everybody's budget's different, but I mean, to get this knife for under $70 is just insane. With the fit and finish and the materials used, this may be the best bargain out on the internet. But definitely not the sharpest knife I have, but this is the sharpest S90V knife I have. So there you have it, folks. That is the end of the video. If you made it to the end, I appreciate it. I applaud you, and I thank you for watching. Go ahead and rip me in the comments. That's absolutely fine. I only cry, you know, a little bit, and then it just makes me stronger. But I cry a lot. No, not really. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you.